Because I wanted to.
Lana is muted.
Not the mute.
Lana, you're muted.
No.
No. Okay.
Oh,
I just wanted to use my phone this week. I'm sorry.
I knew I was muted because, technology is not my friend right now. Because as soon as we went live, my computer went crazy. So,
Good.
and when you were talking and introducing your fan, I was still hearing the intros. So
Good.
that's why I stayed muted until I'm back. But I'm here now.
Hello, house guests, and welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay, and I'm very thank you. You'll learn. I'm very excited because today I went and got my first pumpkin spice of the season, and yes, it's August, and I understand. I don't want to hear any flack about it whatsoever, but I am drinking the last little bit of it in my cup mug.
Yes.
I can't move it.
I'll
much,
do it.
But
Cup mug, cup mug, cup mug.
and you can get yours and plenty of other cup merchandise at lanagcreations.etsy.com. So go check it out.
Not Logan taking up half of my intro, but that's all
I
right.
use the cup mug. I have to.
That's fine. I shouldn't be the only one plugging our cup merch, so I love it. Hello, everybody. Hello, house guests. I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. Yeah, I am currently and officially just drinking water because, water is important, hydration is important. And yeah, I'm drinking water.
Do you have a sponsor for your water today, Lana?
I mean, it's really just generic water sponsored by Miss Loose Elizabeth. Let loose. Period.
We do indeed have a let loose button.
Yes.
Not the only button we have here.
We have a lot of buttons.
And we have another person.
We do. Like,
hello. I'm awake.
Well, it's perfect timing, so go for it.
Oh shit! Oh hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm Lewis. I'm a canny laddie. Soon going to be back in Manny, and I'm fucking delighted with our new HOH. Can't wait to talk about it. Yeah.
Awesome. And it's Brook, queer college graduate who plays way too much fucking Smash Bros. I'm going to the tournament tomorrow and next Saturday because I have no life. And here lately, I have been playing Death's Door on PS4. Game is fantastic. If you have not given it the time of day or don't know about it, go play it. Cute little indie kind of Metroidvania, but not really. And I am also drinking a generic bottle of water, once again sponsored by Mother Lucy LaDuca.
Period.
I was not prepared.
There we go. And wait, who is this? Who are you? Like, who's this? Where'd you come from? Like,
Who, me?
Yeah, who are you?
Well, some of you should know me. I'm Jacob, and I am new-ish to this scene. I have been friends of Lana and Logan's and many others. I know Lewis and so many others from some days back in 2020, and we are all
Some
still
days
friends.
indeed.
Some
And
days.
I am so excited to be here. And it's just been so long since I've gotten to enjoy a season like this, and I'm so excited to talk about it. And today I'm drinking out of my Do Not Disturb mug because when I'm podcasting, I am Do Not Disturbed.
Please.
And I am drinking Minute Maid fruit punch.
Period. Work.
Yeah.
Work.
Thank you for having me.
I love a little American reference that I won't understand.
I mean, you don't have Minute Maid?
Minute Maid, no. What is that?
Oh, well,
Who is
juice.
she?
Brand of
It's
juice.
a brand of juice.
Oh.
You know,
Look,
these laddies across the pond, they don't know. Yeah, they don't know us over here. But we still love them and we still invite them over. So, but we're not here to talk about us or Lewis being across the pond. We're talking about Big Brother. And this week, plans were planned, and plans went according to plans, according to what other people planned, and then they planned some things, and then they planned some more things on top of their plans. Like we talked about this Wednesday and Monday, the flip flop, flippity flip flop, the flip flop, flip flop, flippity flop. Plans.
It was Waffle Tuesday, I
It was
guess.
Waffle Wednesday for us.
This has been
The episode, it was Waffle Wednesday.
The episode
This
was
has been Waffle season. Okay, let's keep it on the grid. Sides? What sides? Alliances? Who are they? People in this house doing whatever they want, aka the most. Okay. There's
you know
one
what?
thing you cannot call this season of Big Brother, and that is boring. This has been the most dynamic house in age, if maybe ever, honestly. At least since beginning.
I won't say ever, but it's been good.
It's been good. At least. I mean, we're getting alliances moving around all the time. People are constantly shifting allegiances. Like, it's crazy.
They are, as of an hour ago, doing that too. We'll talk about it.
But so, do we want to talk about the Thursday episode first?
We have to talk about the Wednesday episode.
We have to talk about the Wednesday episode first.
Wednesday.
Yeah, we have a Wednesday episode, but yeah, Wednesday happens, and I'm gonna tell y'all. I kind of love the tenacity of Riley. I was like, she's somebody who probably could have played this game longer if she didn't get put in a situation where, I'll say she put herself in a situation where she alienated herself from the house. If she would have played a better game, been more fluid, and going through the house, she could have been a real contender in this house, because this girl fought for her position, and like, for real, I was like, I am not mad at it. I'd love to see a fight. I hate to see when people give up. Like, I know it's me, the writing's on the wall, I'm done. It ain't over till Julie Chen say you have been evicted from the house. Like, you keep fighting until you can't fight anymore. And that's what she did. And I was super impressed by that, because Wednesday's episode, she was like, she kind of saw it coming. But then they were like, oh, she got Sari to like maybe turn it around for her and maybe try to fight for her. And then she had a whole army of people literally fighting to keep for her in this game. I was impressed by her. This episode and Thursday's episode, I was impressed by her. And I wasn't a huge Riley fan, just to be honest, but I was impressed by her. What y'all think?
I definitely think Riley was somebody who, in the house, had a big old dose of, I don't even call it HOH-itis, more like HOH panic. HOH mania. I think that might be the right. Like, frantically going all over the place, making promises to tons of people, dividing the house. Well, I don't want to say prematurely, because the house divides itself. But like, she did the most, and that but when it came to the game. But I will say she was very entertaining. She provided some quality feeds. And that last like 3 or 4 days after the veto ceremony, she impressed me so much because she had managed to convince Suri and Felicia, even for a limited amount of time, to work with her instead of her alliance she was already working with. So like that's impressive to me. It didn't work out in the end, but I definitely think she's somebody I could see coming back if they do like a second chances cast. Just she'd be an interesting pick for a second. I would rather have her.
I feel like she could be in the conversation, but I wouldn't put her at the top of the list. Like she wouldn't be in my top 10.
Make it to All Stars.
I mean, but if we did have David Alexander first boot get to All Stars. So I'm like,
I mean, it's not. I wouldn't be surprised.
Not the way
that was a very unique set of circumstances, though, rooted in I'm going to say racism.
Right. He did get that at the end. I feel like during COVID times, a lot of people said no. A lot of people said, I think they reached down to the bottom of their list and got to David before they could get everybody who they wanted a full cast. So
if I remember, that was supposed to be Josh Martinez, and then he tested positive in court.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Him and Casey. It was supposed to be Casey too, and she tested positive as well.
And we got David and Keisha instead.
Yeah.
Which I can't believe they didn't put Keisha on the cast.
Right. Even if she went home first, they're both trade ups. So I mean,
on the Riley, Riley definitely had. Which, mind you, Riley had what could have been arguably the easiest reign anyone's had in BB history. You've got 4 names, just pick 2 of them. Which is crazy. I am slightly frustrated with one thing in Thursday's episode, which we'll probably get to it. I think we're not getting. I mean, I don't think the casuals got the full. Which the casuals never get the full story, but the way they edited, particularly that whole veto situation, made it a bit like, oh, that's it. That's all.
Should we just?
I think we should.
Was there anything really just to talk? Let's just go to the veto.
Yeah, right, because really, nothing else to talk about. Really,
to talk about from that episode.
So the veto comp, as we learned about it on Saturday, everyone in the house on feeds was saying, "Oh my gosh, this veto was like not at all like Matt was not equipped to play this veto whatsoever. Like there was no way Matt was going to win this competition." And we were up in arms, obviously, and we still are.
Yeah.
And we will be until CBS puts in the proper legal accommodations for him by the ADA, because that exists for a reason. But so we watch Wednesday's episode, and it's this comp where they have turntables, and you're listening to phrases backwards, and you have to like decode them and then find the object in the room that they're in, whatever, and the first to get through 3 clues wins. Now we go to Matt's like 3rd or 4th to compete, and what we saw was that he was able to hear things perfectly fine. Again, I'm saying this is the edit. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm saying this is the edit we received, was that he could hear things fine, and that the reason he didn't do well in this competition was because he mixed up the first clue. He had the first clue. He knew what it was. He couldn't find it in the room.
Yeah. It was. He didn't realize that the toilet bowl was the piano bowl. And he didn't know that, and that's what they made us look. That's what they made us think. But then we get to the scores, and I don't know about none of y'all. I thought I missed something. I was like, did my TV just jump? Did the commercial come back later than the episode? Because why are we only seeing the last 3 scores?
For
the top 3 scores. And I was like, oh, no, we didn't miss anything. You just didn't want us to see that it took Matt 30 minutes to do something that took everybody else 2 minutes and a minute.
They chopped it up to the times were scrambled by the Scrambleverse, and we get to see the top 3. Excuse me? Since
if the times were scrambled by the Scrambleverse, we would have seen 3 random scores and not the top 3 scores.
There you go.
Right.
Have we ever in the history of a veto comp only gotten the top 3 scores?
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever happened that way. So when granted, I'm not like a BB encyclopedia or anything. I was thinking about it. I was like, the last time I remember like that everything even remotely like that happening, like they've done times or stuff, it's always been everybody. And
because they make a note to be like, if someone times out, they're like, oh no, Jacob timed out. Darn. Like they always make it a thing.
And you know, we've seen it a lot, especially with like BB comics. It usually is when people will time out on a veto comp. But I don't think we know why they didn't show all the times.
Yeah.
We know, and we also know, and we talked about it on the Wednesday episode because we had already known what the veto was going to be. It's baffling to me, I'm assuming to the rest of you, to have any sort of comp that involves hearing when you have a deaf person on the cast. Even if it was a comp he wasn't playing, like if he was an HOH that he had won the week before and he was sitting out, sure, great, whatever. But like, they knew they were casting him for weeks, and it's not like they don't have the ability to move these veto comps around, or like, I don't know,
take his name out the bag when you know it's gonna be a sound comp. Like we wouldn't have known his name wasn't in the bag or the box if you knew the veto comp was going to be a sound comp.
It's
like,
baffling that they could put themselves into a position where they would potentially have to show themselves CBS. Show themselves, it might not even be 30 minutes. Those feeds were off for how many hours? So like
18 hours.
So they don't want to show a time of a deaf person timing out on a competition that is purely audio based.
Purely. That's what I'm like.
And they put themselves into that position.
Exactly.
They did that. They didn't. I'm not saying they shouldn't have casted Matt. I think Matt's a great casting choice. So that's a variable. You have the variable of all the competitions you could ever create. And, they say they take a long time to create. Okay, I understand that. But they also say that you've been casting for how many months? So, like, it's just look at the overall picture before you are a producer. And I don't know. I would just love to have the choice for it.
Consider. Yeah, that was... Yeah, pure ignorance. I think that's all we can put it on. No consideration for the optics of having a hearing-based competition with a deaf player in the cast. I think even if he wasn't playing, having an audio competition for even if he wasn't there, I think it should have been scrapped.
Well, it was a dumb comp. That was so not entertaining.
Dumb. Yeah, it wasn't.
That's not fun to watch. Nobody wants to watch that.
They could have easily. Instead of an audio-based thing, they could have said, oh, we have the different parts of the clue scattered around in a certain like color tile or something like that.
It's like a little mini puzzle.
Exactly. Put them together, and that tells you what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And you can make it the shape of a record. Like that, it's still on brand for the competition. So...
And I also want to call, I'm not saying you're wrong, Jacob, because I know they've said it before. I want to call bullshit on them saying it takes forever for them to make these comps, because we all vividly remember the BB16 Battle of the Block that they made, and then they find out Caleb wasn't going to participate, so they changed it like last minute so Frankie could still win. We remember this, okay? Like, maybe most of the times comps take a little bit longer to design. Like if they have the wall up for the wall comp, they have to fix. This is literally 3 record players and a button that they probably have somebody in the booth pressing the sound effects for. Like it's not complicated. And also the part that would be really easy to fix, because the rest of the comp was fine. Like the finding the thing you need to do and like putting the CD in the toilet bowl or whatever, that was all like normal, fine, common BB stuff. But you do note cards all the time. You have written out stuff for the house guests to read constantly. it's kind of like one of those, you're not thinking about the obvious stuff because you're trying so hard to do all the other random stuff that doesn't even matter.
Yeah. It was weird, but y'all showed yourselves when y'all didn't even put his score up there, because we know it. We would have been like, why would it take Matt 15, 20 minutes to do a comp that took Heisem a minute? We know why. And so that's why they didn't want to show us the scores. But whatever, CBS, we see you, we see you, and y'all need to start doing, like, don't cast people with disabilities if you're not even going to try to accommodate the disability. I ain't saying you got to make stuff special for them, but you got to at least make it fair. Right. That's it. Because me personally, I can't see. My disability is my blindness. And I'm like, if I went in the house, I wouldn't tell you to change up all your games to accommodate me, because I need to figure out how to get through socially if I can't win competitions. But to we're going to put on a screen on the Jumbotron and you have to find where's Waldo on this. Really? Right. That's why would you cast me if we go have 15 competitions while I got to look for Waldo? Why would you do that to me? Yeah. So now you're really making me look like a fool. And that's what I feel like they were trying to do with Matt. And I didn't like it. It was gross. But
I will say,
it was Heisem, Riley, Cameron, America, and Blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Matt, obviously.
Yeah. This is a separate thing, and we'll spin back to the other thing. Mm-hmm. I'm glad we're not getting live comps, because that allows time for them to explain and accommodate, see if their competitions accommodate, and try and get the accommodations with Matt before they can. So if we're not getting live comps, I'm fine with that, as long as that's the reason why we're not getting live comps.
I think that might be, a lot of people are complaining about them not showing HOHs at the end of the eviction episodes. I think that's why.
Yeah.
It might have something to do with that. I would hope that it would have.
That's the only reason I'd be happy with that.
I mean, I feel like we have a whole lot of time from the time they evict the person out the house, they do the interview. Somebody could be out there explaining the competition to Matt while we're out there waiting.
Right. Okay,
like
fair,
we could still do a live HOH. You just need to be out there explaining the competition to Matt, or give, because you're explaining to everybody else. Just make sure he understands as well. Give him a paper with the rules on it so he can read it while we're explaining it, so he can follow along. It's not that hard. It's not that ain't nobody telling you to change up your whole format for this one person. We just say make it fair. And you have a lot of time from the commercial, from when they evict the person from the house, they got the interview, they got commercials, they got enough time to explain the competition to Matt and then come back for HOH. The problem is we spend 10 minutes hugging each other goodbye and we ain't got no time for the HOH competition, because we got to put all the fluffy fluff in the episode of a stuff we didn't already knew about, because we didn't already seen Wednesday's episode. Put all your fluff in Wednesdays and Sundays episode, and then Thursday we get right to the nominations, vote them out, do their little interview, and then we can get back and start this competition. That's gonna change this week, because we'll talk about it. But yeah, that's gonna change this week, because we gotta learn new on that. But Wednesday's episode, this is where I had a problem with Wednesday's episode. The veto competition is over. Heisem wins the veto. Fine. Heisem chooses not to use his veto. Now, all week after the veto speech on the feeds, we were hearing about this speech. The speech that turned everybody against Heisem. This speech, he was, oh my God, Heisem, how could he? He is power hungry. He is insane. He's a madman, this Heisem. And we're like, oh man, what is this speech?
What is Heisem's
right? I mean,
did he
give me Wednesday's episode? I need to see this speech.
Well, I'm like, did he say something about her mama? Did he say she? What did he say? What did he
call her ugly? Did he call her?
You stank, nasty, wannabe, like He called her mama home. What did you do? What did he say? Because I was ready for whatever this speech was going to be, because Heisen was the devil after this speech.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody liked him. He's gone too far. He shouldn't have said what he said to Riley. And then here comes the speech. And it's like, Riley, you said my name, and I had to put you up, and you're my target. I will not be using the veto.
That everyone
votes to kick you out. And he walks away. And I'm like, what?
And I'm confused because apparently it went on for like 5-6 minutes. Someone said that. Yeah, 5. Yeah.
They edited it down. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. Right, where Cerie Fields says this speech was too much. She is like a reality veteran at this point. She's been on 7 shows at this point in her life.
She was on a season with Russell Hantz.
Right.
She's seen things like this before, right? Her show, on any show. When she says it's too much, I don't think she would blow that out of proportion. And then when we see it, it was kind of like one of those, oh, okay, well, that's like a normal veto speech. Or like, or maybe maybe slightly harsher than normal.
That was not harsh at all. He just said what he said. Like he just stated facts. Well, what we saw, the facts were stated. You said my name. Mm-hmm. I'm targeting you, and I want the House to vote you out. So I'm like, where's the harshness in that?
Maybe harsh wasn't the right word. Maybe blunt. It was a little bit more to the point. Maybe a little bit more direct. Because a lot of the time when we get vetoes, people kind of like dance around the stuff everybody knows is going on. But it really did feel like, this was edited. We were just missing some more of the context of what happened. Now, if it wasn't edited and that was the whole speech, then everybody in that house is blowing it out of proportion. But
we saw several people say that it was a long speech. Mm-hmm. Like, we had several people on feeds say that it was a long speech. Mm-hmm. What we saw was edited. There's no way around it.
Yeah. But, Jacob, what you thinking? Because I feel like we've been talking way too much over you.
Yes.
Oh, stop. I love being here. What do I think? I think a few things, but mostly
I would hope you would think a few things, darling.
I'm thinking how, I don't know. This show, I saw a tweet about it. It's always been a friendly and family show, whatever. I get that. I mean, really not back in the old days, but yes, I get it. It's supposed to be for everybody to watch on, nighttime television. But the way that they treat their adult viewers, like we are children, is so embarrassing, to the point where I have friends that I have tried getting to watch this show, and they look at me like I'm crazy when they see people getting kicked in the ass, getting kicked in the butt. And in the first competition, it was just embarrassing. And I'm like, are we being humiliated? Like, I don't understand. Like, let's just let the show be the show. It is perfect in nature the way it is. Let it be. And I just feel like lately I'm losing the sense of like, I don't know, the element of surprise that I enjoyed as a live viewer, but watching the episodes give me nothing. Just speculation at this point that they are not showing us too much and that things are not what we think. And that's not what I should be getting.
Yeah, I agree. So, Thursday's episode with Julie in a live audience.
That was iconic.
The shot of her just in the audience, I was like,
she looks stunning. Yesterday, I loved her outfit yesterday.
It reminded me of like the way it used to look before the redesign.
I miss those old sets. I miss those old sets where the audience encompassed the studio. Mm-hmm. Like, give us that back. That was cute.
I do love this new set though.
It's beautiful.
There's something so modern and sleek about it that I
Did you see those audience chairs? They were like thrones.
Oh my god!
They were like
so
kind of cute.
They looked really
6 hours away.
It was giving VIP section.
Like, maybe I need to go to a live eviction, but
so true.
Okay, Thursday's episode, to sum it up, is what is Cirie doing? Like, honestly, it's like Cirie and Felicia are just flip flop. The 1 minute they're like, oh no, we want to keep Riley because we think Riley's going to be good for our game, and the next minute we're like, no, Riley's the devil. They didn't say that, but that's basically like, they're like, Riley's not good for anybody. And it ultimately comes down to Riley is better for Cirie and Felicia. But at the moment, for the professors, which ain't really a thing anymore, kinda, we'll talk about it. But for the professors, Riley is not good for that group as a whole. So and there were multiple attempts to flip the vote up until apparently an hour prior.
It was literally
10 minutes.
10 minutes before the thing is when Izzy went up to Jag and said, look, it's not happening. And that's why the vote went the way it did. And it wasn't 9-3 like we all thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Riley said on an interview, at her post interview, that it was 10 minutes before, and that once she was like, it's not happening, she told the rest of her alliance, don't stick your neck out for me, play your game, just vote me out, because it just wasn't happening. But she said she was going at it 10 minutes before live eviction, and I'm like, that's insane. But
which confuses me, because like, the day of, they were blindsiding her into believing she was staying. So
I know for a fact, the thing that I saw that was on the feeds today, because Izzy was talking, I think, to Corey, right? And Izzy said that she told Jag right before the eviction episode, the episode started, that there weren't enough votes and they should probably just quit now because nothing's going to change. And that's why they didn't. That's what Jag and the rest of I don't know if they knew before that either.
Yeah, but Jag was still going around the house. This is why Jag is in the position Jag is in right now, is because Jag was still going around the house telling folks it was up to Felicia and Cirie. Like, Felicia and Cirie were the ones deciding if the flip was going to happen. And Felicia and Cirie were like, absolutely not. It's not up to us. It's up to the rest of the house. We're just 2 votes. And Jag was up until right before the eviction was saying it's up to Felicia and Cirie. And that pissed off Felicia and Cirie. And then that's when they were like, it's not happening. And that's when Izzy told Jag it's not happening, because he was still saying that it could happen. And that's a gag, because that's what's going on. And that's why Jag is in the position he is in right now, because he didn't know how to just stop when to stop. And that it's also something, I mean, I like Riley. I feel like if I was in the house, I probably would still think she was a lovely person. But when you come into a game for $750K, why are we fighting so hard for somebody that's not you? I mean, up until 10 minutes before the show, why are we fighting for somebody that's not you? And when the other half is like, it's not happening. It's not good for us. It's not happening. You sticking your neck out.
Unless you're Cirie and Jared Fields, honestly, that's kind of the only situation in this house where I would be like, and even then, I feel like Cirie, if Cirie knew Jared was going,
it's Cirie. If Cirie, because Jared, I would not stick my neck out for. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair though, and in this house though, right, where everybody has been going full Dre mode and flip flopping on the table like all the time, right? We do need to acknowledge that I can understand the perspective of, well, they've told me they were going to do before. What has changed in the past little bit? And if I can figure it out, then maybe we can flip the vote back. But at the same time, you're still losing somebody from your alliance. And honestly, I think it really damaged the relationships with Cameron, who is definitely somebody who could win an HOH possibly. I'm not saying he has or will even make it to another week to do that. We don't know. But Cameron is definitely somebody that could win an HOH, and him, now probably has a sour taste in his mouth with Blue, Jag, and Matt, or at least Blue and Jag. Because Matt, as far as we can understand, was kind of playing it up like, I like her a lot. I really care about her, unless from like a game perspective.
Girl.
But like the other two,
yeah, we'll talk about that. Oh, Jesus Christ, girl. Okay, well, let's get through this because I got to get to the live feeds part. Because girl, okay.
So Riley got the big brother boot out the door
by a unanimous vote. Riley was gone.
Which
That's
sucks.
so-
I wish there was one or two.
I
but
wish
I
it
wish
was-
there was at least.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Matt didn't even give her a sympathy vote, but like
exactly.
I mean, I think the whole
Everyone would have understood if Matt had.
right. If he would have, nobody would have cared. Nobody been like, "Oh no, Matt, how dare
Right.
you?"
It doesn't
Rah,
make
rah.
him a target. I don't.
No,
It doesn't put him. Come on.
It does
Especially
not.
with who won HOH this week, like he would have been fine.
Tyson was like, whoever votes against who I want is the next target.
Like,
That-
absolutely not.
He's
That's a
not.
little
He's not
dictator.
sitting in that HOH room next week. You don't.
Right.
listen to him.
You have no power next week,
He's got
sir.
no power.
And that's why I'm like, why are
That
y'all
is
listening to
going
Heisem? Like, I'm like, y'all listening to Heisem? Like, why? His power is over,
Why?
and he has no power next week. Like,
Right.
why are we listening to him
It was
with
like,
his
that meant
with his
Yeah,
empty
come
threat?
Monday afternoon, his power is done.
Done.
Right.
I would
That's
care
how it
nothing
works.
about what he says to me. Like, I will play up the power trip for you for the first 3 days, but baby, once that veto ceremony is over, and you ain't got no power or no deed. You ain't got no power or no
Just
deed,
enjoy
honey.
your bed. Just enjoy the room.
Yeah. I think that's a really big difference between like old school Big Brother and new school Big Brother, because old school Big Brother, and like Janelle talked about it on All Stars, to both Janelle and All Stars, to be clear, that you have people back in the day, they didn't listen to the HOH. They did whatever they wanted after the nominations were over, because guess what? The HOH can't do anything about it. And
I
hey, guess
respect
what?
the HOH wishes.
Does anyone remember that Riley was the HOH in week 1? What did she do about this week? Nothing. What could she do
Nothing.
about it? Nothing.
She went home. She went home. That's what she could do this week. That's what she could do this week. Go
Right.
home. Because you have no power or no deed after Monday. Monday comes,
Mhm.
we get the final noms. Baby,
Yep.
I'm done listening to you. And then we come
Exactly.
together and we make our decision because I have nothing to say to you. You can't threaten me because what are you going to do? You can't play in the next HOH, so you have no power. That's why I was just like, I just find the whole, we have to honor the HOH, baby, for what?
It pisses me off.
No.
It really pisses me off.
Baby, for what? What are we doing that for?
What I
But-
will say
Mhm.
on the topic of Riley, and then we'll close out the Riley chapter. Knowing that she's a super fan, and as a super fan myself, I wish she had been able to play a little bit more, but I was genuinely impressed with the way that she played this week. And a couple of the days of her HOH I thought were played decently. So, she's just the classic example of playing a little too hard, too fast, and not knowing what to do
Right.
with the power that she had in that first week. But I do think she is a good competitor. She seems like a lovely individual outside of the house, whatever.
She want a balance beam. I'm not gonna say her competitive nature is so great. She want a balance beam, baby. I'm sorry. I could have won a balance beam. I wouldn't go for and I'm a horrible competitor.
From a comp perspective, whatever. She won a balance beam comp, cool. But like from a gameplay perspective, that last like 3 or 4 days, if she was like that the entire time she was in the house, like I think maybe it finally clicked with her at the end and what she needed to do, and it was just a little too late. Which I hate when that happens, but it does happen, and you don't get a second chance in Big Brother. Most of the time, once you're out, you're gone. You gotta try to keep that level the whole time.
I think she just overthought her own HOH because, like we said, she had the easiest HOH to do. The nominations were given to you. You didn't even have to nominate anybody. You had to save people. So you could have got people on your side by saving them. But she got her own self paranoid and was talking too much to everybody. She was just overthinking everything and got in that room and closed herself in where she did not make the connections and were not fluid with people when she should have been able to be like, look, I saved you, play in the veto. Y'all stay in the veto, y'all win or lose is great or not. you win, good. You don't,
Right.
it is what it is. I can do the best I can. And then she was so blinded by she was so blinded by the Kirsten of it all that she didn't realize that Kirsten could have been a number for her,
Right.
and could have been somebody who would have been loyal to her. And then we wouldn't even be in this situation right now where she wouldn't even been in this situation because she would have had the numbers on her side, but she did not even have the numbers on her side because she let numbers go, because she was so blinded by, well, the house wants. What do you want? You're the HOH. This is the moment in time where you do what you want. Just like we say, you don't have to listen to the HOH once the power is gone. As the HOH, you don't have to do what the house wants. Why do I need to do the house's dirty work? I need to do what's best for me. And what's best for me is if she would have stayed, I would have had a person loyal, numbers on my side. And I'm sorry, if Felicia would have been gone, now I would have hated that because
I was gonna say no. Wait, no.
I would have hated that because I want Felicia.
Timeline,
but that would have been better for Riley had she let Kristen stay and Felicia go. But it is what it is.
They just couldn't cancel the eviction.
They couldn't cancel the eviction. Whatever. But we got to jump into the live piece because this is what I wanted to talk about today. This is what I wanted to talk about because today, of all days of today. But if you don't want spoilers, by the way, if you don't want spoilers, if you don't want to be spoiled on live feeds, this is where you need to exit stage left. But you should subscribe before you go. Don't leave without hitting that subscription
Casuals.
Please don't insult the casuals on this podcast because we love the casuals here.
Yes, we do.
We do. Because we want them to subscribe. Hit that button on your way out. And we will love to. We'll see you back
on the casuals. I love those. Casuals. Subscribe. Yes.
We'll see you back on Monday. Because we'll be back. So subscribe and then do all the things. Follow the things. But
this is our live stream schedule. By the way.
Yeah. By the way, our live stream schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6/3/6. Buy the cup merch. LanaG'sCreations.com. Okay. Period. Follow us on the Cup Pod on all of our socials. Period. All right.
Okay, we're giving you 3, 2, 1.
We got a new HOH people. Felicia Cannon, my mother.
So before we get any of the game,
Felicia Washington Cannon.
Felicia Washington Cannon. Yeah.
Before we get to any. Damn it! I just got that. Before we get to any of how it's going to look for the game and what this could change for the game this week, for the record, because Ethanamel just put out a video on this 2 days ago, so I was eagerly waiting to see who won this HOH. The third HOH historically is an incredible HOH to win. 5 people have won the game after winning the third HOH. Only 2 people have ever won the third HOH and not made it to the jury. And both of those were older seasons. A lot of the people that have won the third HOH are legendary Big Brother players. We're talking about people like Vanessa, people like Derek, tons of elite, Xavier won the third HOH. Lots of incredible names have won that third HOH. So it's looking up for Miss Felicia. That's all I gotta say about it.
And it's Brook saying they're not the BB encyclopedia.
If we go really talk about something, if we go just bring it back to people who might not watch the older season, just last season, what happened on week 3 HOH winner when Turner won and we got the leftover forming on that week and we got our girl Taylor Hale out of the pits of darkness into the beautiful light and she stayed there to shine. I'm just saying. Third week HOH is kind of iconic. And this one, I don't think will do us wrong because I think Miss Felicia is already iconic.
And she's now the oldest woman to win HOH. She is the second oldest house guest to win HOH.
Yep.
Shout out to Jerry from Big Brother 10.
Sure to that man. Whatever.
Sure. No, not to that man. Absolutely not to that man.
I said sure to that man. You know what my sure means, baby. You know what it means.
things happened. I don't know.
I'm saying, you know what the shua to that man means.
No. Sorry. Next. But I will say, I'm very happy that the house is now seasoned. There are seasonings in the Big Brother house.
Not you taking my line. I'm about to say, not you taking my line. Really, Logan?
Actually, I took Lewis's because Lewis's tagline.
I had it in my banner.
I said it before even got here. Let's say I
feel
camera.
bad for the casuals who saw my banner and thought.
I'm about to say, Logan, you know I said that off camera. I said it as soon as I got into the feeds.
Seasoning retweeted the video.
Lowry's.
Did you see that?
Lowry's.
Yeah, they tweeted out and it was like, that's our favorite HOH.
Yep.
You know, we love it. I was like, yes, get that Taylor Hale brand deal. Okay,
it's a brand deal, Lowry's. Because all I'm saying is, y'all knew when y'all done let us in this house that we needed some seasonings up in this house, and y'all was depriving Miss Felicia of her Lowry seasoning salt, her accent seasoning, her garlic powder, her onion powder, not salt. Don't give us garlic salt. What we doing with garlic salt? What y'all doing with garlic salt?
They kept it backstage that whole time. It was like, okay, maybe when she wins HOH,
which is ridiculous. It took her asking several times just to get real butter in the house. She was like, "Can we get real butter in this house? What is y'all doing with this?"
I hope she gets butter all week. I hope there is real butter every single day. I hope that there is real butter for those eggs that they're cooking, because they are making eggs every single damn. I have not seen a house go through this many eggs in like 2 weeks and like a couple of days ever.
That would be me. That would be me. If I was in Brook's house, I mean eggs, and I'll be eating cereal, like eggs and breakfast and cereal all the time.
Yeah, me
once
too.
I settle in, I'd be like, I would literally go immediately to the kitchen. I'm like, okay, what seasoning? Okay, hey, Mr. B, I need some seasoning.
Right.
They're calling it Mr. B, and
I love it. I kind of live for the Mr. B. I would seriously walk into that house, go into the storage room, look at all the seasonings, like, okay, y'all, we need some seasoning salt. Pulamini, we need some seasoning salt, we need some garlic powder and some onion powder, and we need some slap your mama, we need some adobo sauce. We need all that. We need
adobo. I need. Come on now,
some tahini. Like, what y'all giving them salt, pepper, and some garlic salt for? That's disrespectful. Not. It's disrespectful to anybody who cooks.
Like, put them all on slop at that point. Like, what? Right.
Production needs to be on slop.
Yeah.
I mean, who eating chicken? They give them all that chicken and beef, which you ain't giving no seasoning salt.
I will say, shout out to the house guests this year for actually cooking the fish, because and that's when you have house guests in there that are a little bit wiser and have a little bit more years to them. They know that food needs to be cooked and it can't just sit in the bottom of the freezer until
it rots.
Storage room smells so bad.
So bad. Stinks in here
every year.
And that's why you cast older house guests.
Right. Exactly.
And
I mean, if they had cast me,
fish is expensive.
If they had cast me this season, trust and believe, I would take like at least 4 hours of every single day, making sure that the kitchen is taken care of. I wouldn't be doing the dishes because I would be doing the cooking. However,
listen, that's what Felicia said, and then 5 minutes later,
she cooking.
Nope. I know. Felicia needs to stop. She needs to stop.
This week, she better stop. They better be cooking for her this week.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I think she was either having conversations in the HOH this morning, or she like slept in or something. And they had already made eggs for her, and it was a beautiful moment. I got to actually watch feeds today for the first time.
Oh my god!
Logan knows everything.
Did we catch the competition tease?
Yes. So we know it has something to do with slime, snot, noses. My first thought was the longest word.
Okay. I was just
because there was like so many obstacles, and I thought it was slightly slanted. I thought it was like a ball rolling competition where if it ends
ball.
Because Felicia said I got a 53 and Red got a 50.
Then she said, I think they were like. Then she got a 62, and
something
because the top 3 apparently was Felicia, Izzy, and Jared. So either way it would have went, we would have still been eating this week with the choices. But those were supposed to have been the top 3 was Felicia, Izzy, and Jared. Oh, wow. So I'm thinking it was a bowl roll kind of thing, and maybe it could go in
that on Wednesdays. Like it could be the crapshoot HOH.
Yeah, that's what I said. And
like Felicia could win, and guess
what?
I
mean,
and then we know that the first people who got the lowest scores got the have-nots. So that was Matt and America and Red. So
yeah. Anyway, historically, the spelling comp is usually a veto comp.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Bring that back, by the way.
They really need to bring that back because I love that competition.
Speaking of bringing back.
We'll talk about it.
Thursday. No, because this we did the end of Thursday's episode. This was in Thursday's episode. We ended Thursday's episode with the announcement of all announcements, people. I put a banner in there, Logan. Pull it up because it's
made another one with exclamation points.
Yeah, I did. It's in there. It was in there. Pressure cooker is back, baby. We have been asking. I can't believe they listened. I cannot believe they listened. We've only been asking for pressure cooker for like 20 years.
Felicia got her onion powder. We got our pressure cooker. Come on now. It's a good week.
I mean, okay, can we just say, though, Felicia competing in pressure cooker would have been delightful.
It would have been.
I mean, that was the sad part. I was like, Felicia won't be. But you know what? Mama don't need to participate in no pressure cooker.
It also means that Felicia's not going through torture, and I don't mind Felicia being...
so you can stand on the sidelines and cheer them on.
And like, yes,
when they're cold.
But y'all know who's competing in pressure cooker. Cerise Field.
Oh, she's
okay,
with her son, which is just crazy.
Go, bro.
I pray that the fans give this as much love as they have done in the past for other they've done like this. And that this becomes a season standard, because pressure cooker itself as a comp is brilliant, and they've only correct me if I'm wrong, they only did it the one time. So like, this is a comp that they could do every year.
It's such a simple concept.
Yeah. If you want it that bad, you get it.
Such a simple concept, exactly. Like you don't need to overcomplicate it. There's no fucking piano, toilet bowl shit, whatever the fuck. Like. It's just literally just holding a button for as long as you can.
But this is the thing I'm scared of, because Julie mentioned there was a twist in the Scaryverse during pressure cooker, and I'm like, if you bring back pressure cooker after 20 years of us asking for it, and then you screw it up with some stupid twist, I'm gonna be pissed off. I really hope CBS do not piss it up.
I don't think I'm not looking into it too much. I think it could just be, the boxes in the middle. Maybe one of them has like live spiders that crawl around. And
I was hoping the same. Put them in a dark room, they can't see each other.
Could you imagine pressure cooker meets black box?
Exactly. Imagine. That's what I'm imagining.
Fantasy Big Brother.
And then like a snake comes out of the box. Like, come on.
Even if it's not a real snake, because dark, they can't see if it's real or not.
Give us jump scares.
Exactly. Just
give us jump scares. Freak them out.
Yeah. It's just so crazy to me. I hope they don't screw it up. I hope we get a good pressure cooker that we've been waiting for. Well, yeah, fingers crossed, because that's all I could do is just hope for the best. But but Felicia winning HOH, getting this whole thing. And then it's been Felicia been talking all morning on the feeds, by the way. She ain't had time to do nothing but talk to everybody all day. She got to the point where she couldn't even remember who she talked to. She was like, did I talk to everybody? Because I don't want to have second conversations with the same people until I talk to everybody at least once. And Mimi was like, I think I'm the last one. She was like, did I? Oh, I sure did. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm tired. She was like, I need to get some tea. Let me go out the room for a minute and relax. But yeah, I'm loving Felicia's HOH already right now, because the feeds she just literally like asking people what their game is, and they just tell her.
Felicia's court.
They just Tell her.
She's always been that straightforward.
Since she's been there.
And also, coming out of last week, where we were because we talked about it on the Wednesday episode, we said, yeah, we don't really know who. Like, we listed off a couple people whose game it wouldn't have been good for to win. We said Felicia winning this HOH was probably good for her game, and I think it's really going to help her solidify a lot of these alliances, because I think a lot of people think of her and Suri as a duo. So this is going to give her an opportunity to like separate her a little. I'm not saying she should like leave Suri, but like just
establish her own thing.
To give herself like an individual game that the rest of the house expect outside of Suri. Because you know, if the final two is somehow Suri and Felicia, there is no way that house is going to vote for Felicia over Suri as of right now. Which, you know, so like give her the opportunity to do something and like change that perspective is a huge thing for her. And also the people she is targeting this week, I mean, we're eating.
I know.
Yeah.
When she was like, and this is the crazy part about it, because this is Felicia has her own mind. She has thoughts. She has her own thoughts and plans, what she does. But the fact that the matter of her plans is so aligned already with what Felicia and Izzy was going to come and propose to her anyway. Like they had the idea that they came up with their whole plan once Felicia was in the DR, and they were like, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to do it. When they got up to Felicia, she was like, okay, so this is what I want to do. And they were like, we got plans. And she was like, okay, let me hear y'all plans, because I think I know what I want. And when they said we want to go put Cameron up next to Jag, and then we backdoor heist them if one of them comes down from the veto. And Felicia was like, that was what I wanted to. It was like they were already so in sync and they aligned. I was like, this is great. I love their little trio. I love their thing. And so this is what she wanted. She was like, that's my plan. And she's been telling mostly everybody that she wants to backdoor Heisem, except Heisem, of course, and not Red. She did not tell Red that she wanted to backdoor Heisem because she don't know if Red go keep it to himself. And she told Cameron that if Jag pulls himself down, she'll backdoor Heisem. If Jag is still up there and it's him and Jag at the end of the week, Jag will go home. But she's also telling Jag, if the two of y'all up there at the end of the week, Cameron will go home, which they kind of want Cameron to go home. Cameron is the backup plan, obviously. And
after this new stuff that just happened,
that's exactly where I'm headed. So
go ahead.
I want to say, before I talk about that alliance, there's one conversation that Felicia had that I think is going to be really beneficial for both of their games moving forward. And it's a relationship she made very early on that now they're able to work on because she's HOH. And that's her relationship with America. Her conversation with America this morning, I felt was very genuine on both of their sides. We're not going to know that to be 100% sure until we see DRs from both of them about it. If we do. But they had a really lovely conversation. They were talking about how, you know, they clicked immediately night 1, night 2, and like wanted to work together. And Felicia was very straightforward and honest, being like, my target is Heisem. We're trying to backdoor him. This is what's happening. In the meantime, you're good. Don't worry. And I like that conversation. I think that would be a very unlikely duo that I think could do interesting things moving forward. I personally would like to see it because America is starting to impress me. She's like so under the radar, but doing what she needs to do. And she's playing right now a classic floater game. And I love a true floater game where you're good with everyone, but making sure you're not going to be the one on the block. So I think that could be a beneficial relationship for Felicia to have outside of what is now forming, because essentially with Felicia trying to backdoor Heisem, the professors are done.
It's more bye-bye bitches at this point. They're not concerned about professors.
It's more bye-bye bitches. And even then, like, Mimi is really on the outside of that, which is interesting. I don't get that move. I'm intrigued by it. And even Bowie, they're kind of not ostracizing, but Bowie and Mimi are kind of just like this outer circle that like maybe they'll pull in when they need it, maybe they won't. And so I want both of those ladies to start doing a little bit more. But we have an alliance that was proposed today. Felicia and Cirie had a conversation about it, and that's why we know it's real, or at least they're considering it. So the alliance idea is Felicia, Cirie, Izzy, Jared, Matt, Jag, and Blue.
Yeah.
So basically, Riley's people that she had, plus the people that they thought they could flip to make the vote flip.
Plus Fields and Co., as I'm calling them.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call 4 of them.
Right.
Fields and Co. Basically, it's Felicia Washington Cannon Fields at this point. Like, so...
So, here, right, you talk about the Mimi and Bowie stuff, right? It almost feels, not even almost feels like, it's basically at this point, Felicia, Cirie, and Izzy are the center of the Big Brother universe, right? And then everybody else is just the onion layers wrapped around them. It is kind of one of those things of like, they are so well insulated that if people connect the dots, they could be in some serious trouble. But also, it doesn't seem like people are wanting to try and connect the dots as of yet. So I think obviously they're good this week. I mean, we don't know how it's going to look, 4 or 5 weeks from now when that sort of thing is going to start mattering. But I do worry for Mimi's position in the game because outside of that group, she doesn't really have, she has her alliances with Corey and America, but those are only kind of final twos. They're not even really final twos. It's more just like look out for each other, share info kind of things. Mimi's well informed, but I don't think she's well protected. I think that is going to be something where maybe like a week or 2 from now, if people are like, oh, my target won the veto, I guess I can put up Mimi as a backdoor because whatever, I could see her going out week 5, week 6. I don't think she should. I think it's unlikely, but I could definitely see it happening.
Mimi needs to win pressure cooker. I mean, honestly, and she needs to win this next HOH so she can get back in the fold with people because she needs to get, just need to get back in, or Bowie. Yeah, Mimi or Bowie. They need to get back into the fold because right now, like you said, they're so on the outside that they need to show them that, yes, we can win some things. Yes, we will have some power, and y'all need to come over to us now. We went to you. Now you need to come over to us. And so I think it's Mimi or Bowie needs to win if they want to solidify themselves, make sure the bye-bye bitches are still what they are.
Yeah.
Because we don't even know anymore if they're still what they are. And even the brown sugar babes, we don't even know. That's just Felicia, Jared, and Cirie at this point, because Cirie and Mimi apparently had some kind of falling out. And Izzy I feel like Izzy is doing the most to make sure that anybody who has any connections with Cirie, if they fall out, she go make sure they stay falling out because she's doing that. She's doing that. I was talking to Mimi and she wouldn't even answer my questions, and so noted.
Honestly,
Go ahead, Jacob.
Seeing like in Mimi's eyes, maybe like seeing Izzy so connected with Cirie and with Felicia might be a little off-putting for her. Like, I want to be so in, but she's just not. It's just how the cards fell. It's because she didn't know who her daughter or who her son was. That's what it came down to, really.
Right.
And that might play into it because I think Izzy, just her presence and the way that she inserts herself into a dynamics can just be a lot, especially from somebody who like Mimi, who is blunt but a little bit more quiet about it. At the same time, she's not inserting herself
right
yet.
Another thing too, Izzy's gameplay has kind of, this would be such a weird comparison at first, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of like watching Jill from Dance Moms play Big Brother, in that like she wants to get herself to the top, right?
True.
And she is going to like slither her way through any tiny little crack for her and my little Big Brother game to make it up that ladder.
That's a good comparison.
It's literally just Jill from Dance Moms playing Big Brother.
Gag. That's very true. I can.
That is the
That's.
single best comparison you've
I think you've ever done. Like
really
that's the
good.
best you've ever done on this whole entire podcast.
Whoa.
Like wow, because I can totally see that because I'm like. Jill
Tweet that
from
one.
Dance Mom, right? Tweet that one out because Jill from Dance Mom playing Big Brother is exactly what Izzy is doing. She is inserting herself in everything, and she's willing to do and say whatever she can to stay in Cerie's good graces. But I'm like, you don't even have to try that hard. Izzy don't even realize she don't have to try that hard because she's holding this secret. All she got to do is still just be there. But she's trying so hard to just her way up this ladder. It's crazy.
Jill. Just like Jill.
Literally.
To interject very quickly, feeds are back. Nomination ceremony has happened.
Yep.
We do have our nominees, and they are indeed Jag and Cameron.
Also, really quick, Jag just said to Blue, I guess Blue was asking Jag, like, did you know you're going to be on the block? Did you have a feeling? And he said, I walked in there being told I'm on the block, and then I walked out in a 7-person alliance. So now that's they're making it a thing, and this is just again this is gonna be. I'm scared. I don't think this is gonna fare over the way that Felicia and Cirie think it is.
No, I don't think this is going to work out very well because this is the thing. Cirie don't like Blue. Cirie don't like Blue. How am I in an alliance with somebody I just don't like? She wants Jared away from Blue. But we get an alliance with him. Jared wants. Look, everybody wants. I want Jared away from Blue. Blue wants Jared away from Blue because Jared is an F boy. I am so sorry. He is red flags extraordinaire. Like if red flag was a person, it'd be Jared. He is. How dare you ask this woman what her body count is? Like how?
Like, could you imagine her face if she found out what he is doing? When she comes out of this house,
she needs to give him a whooping. I'm sorry, he need to get a whooping when he get out this house. She need to take her belt off and give him a whooping when she see these feeds of this man asking this woman for her body count and saying, "I don't want no woman with a body count." But you don't care.
I'm very happy with the way Blue handled it. I will say,
yes.
When that was thrown at her, I would have just been like, "What?"
And then you got the nerve to be on Beyonce's internet talking about you don't like Beyonce. Are you mad, man? Talking about Beyonce don't write her own stuff and don't. Are you mad, man? You're mad. You're insane, crazy.
It's like Beyonce.
He does not like Beyonce. He said Beyonce knows Carter is underrated, overrated, and does not write her own songs. I'm like, baby.
Justin, just take the L.
He is the L. He is the L. Oh my God. Jared L. Fields, like that's who you are. How dare you? How dare you?
I'm gonna be really honest
horrible.
Though. Today,
I can't. I just can't. But
today on these feeds, the outfit he's wearing, I'm like, oh no.
He did look good on the eviction last night.
He looked great.
His outfit was the best he's looked.
How do we feel about Heisem as a backdoor target?
Great.
I'm not mad at it because he did what he.
I'm
back and forth on it. I'm back and forth.
I kind of want it to be messy. I don't know. What if you won, or like what?
I want a messy season. I'm always gonna root.
I want a messy season, but like, is it smart?
It could be.
Well, now we know someone in the press other than Heisem has won a competition.
Yeah,
therefore,
he's second, first.
Right. But like, because I feel like his biggest connection is to that alliance. No, like
okay. My thing is is the alliance dead? Right? Because depending on who you ask, yes or no. Right? Mm-hmm. So let's operate under the assumption you're Felicia and Cirie, right? Because their games are like the most important here for this particular week, right? If it's dead to them, which it seems like it's dead to them, right? Dead alliance, get rid of him. He's not helping you at all, right? from the perspective of the rest of the professors, maybe it's not the best move, but guess what? They're not the HOH, so I don't care. And then, secondly, Heisem himself has made himself a target to the entire house, right? Mm-hmm. So if Felicia does get him out of the game, right? Let's say Heisem is the person that leaves by the end of the week, right? Does she not basically get out of this HOH with no blood on her hands and solidified all her relationships, which is exactly what you want to try to do as the week 3 HOH?
I'm also so terrified that if, let's say, Heisem does go, then she's got Cameron and Jag off the block in the house, and I can see one of them winning something like a pressure cooker, and the easiest thing for them to do would be.
But that is why she set herself up and put herself in an alliance with Jag. So Jag knows, yes, I told you this plan. This is what it was. We followed through with the plan. Heisem is gone. We're in an alliance now. Now we working together. It's your turn. If you win this, if you win this,
that's what he takes it.
But the fact that he just went and told Blue that he wouldn't in the house in the room as he was told he was a nominee and walked out with a 7-person alliance makes me believe he will honor that. That makes me that gives me a little hope that he will honor that. Now Cameron, maybe not, because he really didn't want to be. He fought up until nomination time to not be on the block, and he was not happy. So he could be one.
I think Felicia's initial conversation with Cameron this morning, though, is going to be very, very beneficial for her moving forward, because she went into it being like, I know this is not what you want. However, this is the bigger idea. This is, I don't want you to go home. Whether she wants him to go home or not is a moot point to him for this situation. But like to him, she's saying, I don't want you to go home in this scenario. I think she's done enough with Cameron for now. She's like, I want you to veto. I want Heisem to go. Like, be my savior at this point, whatever. Also, I want to say, in the midst of all of the live feed stuff happening right now, new reaction photo unlocked.
Also, like, just in general, I don't see how this is bad for her game. I mean, let's say, worst case scenario, Heisem wins veto, Cameron and Jag, one of them goes home. Okay, at this point, we don't know which one of them it'll be. If it's Cameron, it would probably be Cameron. Say it's Cameron. Jag is not going to go after Felicia because he has bigger. Right? If it is Cameron that stays over Jag, right? Why would Cameron immediately go after Felicia instead of going after somebody who's got more comp winning ability on their side? If this was the ball rolling comp, right? Great, Felicia won the ball rolling comp, but she probably doesn't have as good of a chance to win like BB Comics, for example. You know, trying to be realistic. If they can go after somebody who could win comps like Heisem, maybe somebody like Red, or somebody else who like is more of a like traditional Big Brother comp winner, right? I feel like Cameron would do that because he wants to increase his ability to win comps instead of
going after Red.
Going after
he ain't going after Red. So
I think if Cameron stays, and I think if Cameron wins HOH next week, I think he goes after Jag, Blue, and Matt.
Yes.
I don't see him because the professors have done enough to insulate him. Or I think he goes after them, or I think he goes after, unfortunately, Bowie, Mimi, or America.
Yeah. Or Corey. Even Corey too. Let's not forget Corey.
I think
it would be Corey.
I think he goes for the safer option because as far as he is concerned, Felicia has done everything to make sure that he's safe, and if he wins the veto and takes himself down, I think that's done for Felicia. Like, I don't think Felicia's going to have any backlash from that, personally.
Okay, another hypothetical. What if this? Okay, let's say Cameron goes this week, or Cameron doesn't go. Okay, let's just say Heisem stays.
Okay.
And he finds out about this.
What happens? Okay, so this is what happens. Well, hold on. This is what's going to happen because Sari Fields is going to be Sari Fields, and she's going to start Sari fielding all through the house. She's going to pull Heisem aside, and she's going to say, this is what happens when you come and you talk about us and talk to us like you did. You The only reason we turned on you and was going to coming after you was because you called us leftovers and you made us feel like you didn't want to work with us and you hurt our feelings. Heisem is gonna feel so bad, like I wasn't trying. That wasn't my intent. It might not have been your intention, but it's what you said. You said that you felt like Riley split up the house and you were forced to work with us. And we feel like, why should you stay if you feel forced to work with us? Cerie Fields is go Cerie Fields and Felicia's go Felicia. And they go make him feel so guilty about saying that they were leftovers and they couldn't win competitions and all of that stuff.
I want to see that.
And he gonna be like, I am so sorry. That was not my intention. And he is not gonna come after them. It's gonna be white, slate, clean. I apologize. Let's work together. That's what's gonna happen.
About to go be a wall yeller.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen if Heisem somehow stays, like he doesn't get, or he gets picked for the veto and just wins and doesn't use it because they go try to make him feel like he don't have to and not to build a bigger target on him. But that's
what
they
were laughing at in the storage room. Serena was like, "Could you imagine he throws it and we backdoor him?"
Yeah, which
he even said on Facebook, he was like, "I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable."
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm here for another 2 weeks, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. He was like, I'm like, ooh, bro, you might not even be for the next 5 days.
He's so comfortable. He's so comfortable. He needs to go sleep in that cheese bed.
Because he does. Go ahead, Logan.
No, go ahead, Lana. Sorry.
I said because he don't even realize what he said hurt the people in his own alliance. He doesn't even realize in his whole speech of his HOH-itis setting in, he don't even realize what he said. Like you literally called them leftovers and you were forced to work with them. Why wouldn't they turn on you? Because now you've hurt my feelings. And when you hurt my feelings, baby, I can't play with you. You hurt my feelings now. And he just, I felt like he was so high and mighty in his own world during the HOH reign. He just completely did not use common sense of and think about what he was saying. So yeah, if he stays somehow, Felicia and Cerie will get on him, and they will smooth it over for them. They go smooth it over for them now. Jag and Blue, and I think they gonna be okay. Now Mimi and the rest of them,
and Bowie and America and Corey,
Red and Red, they might be in trouble, but they go smooth it over for them. For sure. You about to say something? Oh wait, before we wrap it up though, I was
gonna wrap it up. That's why I was like, I know you have one more thought. So
one more thought before you wrap it up, because I can't leave without talking about the Matt of it all, because I've been on my Twitter this morning talking about the Matt of it all. I love Matt. I adore Matt. I think Matt's a sweetheart, but I need Matt to stand up. You only knew that girl for 2 weeks. You are not in love with Matt. Put that shrine in the trash. Throw that shrine in the trash, Matt. Do not make no heart shrines with her sunglasses out of Q-tips in the bathroom. You are better than that, Matt. You are better than that.
I fell for people for less.
To be fair,
you are better than that.
And not that Riley's like bad, but like get over it. Like, she's out of the game. You knew her for 2 weeks.
Gone.
She's not interested. Like
she was not even interested in you. Like 2 weeks. 2 stinking weeks. I could see if you were, I could see if she was in the house and this was jury or right before jury and y'all been snoogling and canoodling for 3, 4, 5, 6 little weeks. This is 2 weeks in the goddamn game, and y'all were not even an official showman. Stand up, man.
Matt goes, I've got a crush on you. She goes, oh.
Right. She says, oh. She said, oh. Like, she don't want you, Matt. I'm sorry. Stand up, bro. Stand up. You are better than that. You are so cute. You are a good-looking man. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here looking at you, and I'm 40-something years old. And I'm like, yeah. You got Izzy in the house, who is a bona fide lesbian, like, hey, sexy, maybe I'm bisexual, maybe I'm not lesbian. Because that's what Izzy was saying. Izzy said that. I didn't say that. Izzy said that. But I'm like, baby, I'm 45 years old. And I was like, ooh, look at you, Matt. Hey, you are better than this. Stand up, sir. I don't want to see you shed another tear over her because all you need to do right now, they have seen the tears, they have seen you sad. Now you navigate and you move and you get those connections, which he's doing, by the way, which he is doing because Tari is looking out for him. Felicia is looking out for him. America has come in and said, don't worry, Matt, I got you. Which I'm like, yes, America, I see you, girl. I see you, girl.
Yeah, she's
America.
standing from the corner, always looking at him. Come on, America.
Look, I think America liked him before, but then she was like, "Oh, but Riley,
she never.
but
she's always in the corner. She would never.
And look, did you hear what she said? America's savage, by the way. I just want to put y'all out there. America is savage. If you listen to her little side quotes and side little stuff, she say she's slick by the side of her mouth. She said, "Maybe I should put in my goodbye speech to tell Riley that don't worry, I'll look out for Matt." I was like, girl, oh girl, you're so stupid. I'm my appreciation for America is upping every week because I think she's finally getting to the point where she's ready to play this game and she knows what she got to do. And so I'm like, okay, good. But yeah, Matt, stand up, bro. You are better than this. You are better than this. You can do this. This game ain't gonna defeat you, just like life ain't defeat you. You got this. You just got to work a little harder to make things happen for you. But you got this. Riley's gone. She ain't dead. She just went home. You can call her afterward. Just stand up, bro. I love you, though. I love Matt. I love Matt. He just got to stand up.
So, because since we're about to wrap up, I just like leading on a final question just to leave our viewers at home thinking. So I'm going to ask a question because I'm curious to know where everybody's at with it. So if you were going to say 100% definitively, this is my guess, who do you think is going home at the end of this week?
Heisem. I think the only way Heisem isn't gone this week is if his names get pulled out the box thing. If his name doesn't get pulled out the box, if his name gets pulled out of the box, he probably wins a veto because he can't throw a competition for his life. And which that last HOH was throwable. The way he was saying in his confessionals, "Oh, I didn't want to win that." No, you're not convincing me shit. You definitely tried to win that. Anyway, Heisem's gone this week if his name doesn't get pulled out of the box.
I will agree because I also think it is very likely. I don't see a world where Jag goes home unless Cameron wins the veto. I mean, even if Cameron wins the veto, Heisem's going to go home. So, I don't think Jag's going to go home. I think it's really between Cameron and Heisem. And the odds of Heisem getting picked and winning the veto are really slim. So, I'm going to say Heisem.
I, too, will say Heisem because I think the plan is go plan, and it's going to be the plan that actually nobody flips on. It's not going to be about a flip-flopping around. If he does not play in the veto and win, he's going home. And I think they made him comfortable enough where he feels like he does not need to win the veto, even if he gets picked. So I do believe Heisem is going to be blindsided and go home.
I'm going to be messy and say Cameron.
Sure, why not? Jacob?
I agree with Heisem. I think Miss Felicia has her, she's got her bit, her tracks covered with every house guest. She made sure that everyone either knows the plan or they don't know the plan and they know the false plan to make sure that they're fed well until they don't know or they find out.
Sure.
I also think it's realistically going to be Heisem, but I want it to be different. And so I'm going to say Heisem wins the veto, doesn't use it.
No, he does use it. He takes off Cameron because he finds out that they were trying to plot and get him out, and then
Blue goes up
random, Jag. And then Jag goes.
He takes off Jag. In that scenario, he takes Jag off the block.
But then they put Blue up. But then Cameron still goes on.
Yeah, and then Felicia or Cerise's like, we got to get Blue out. Like, Jared, sorry, we got to go. You guys cannot be in the jury house together alone because I'm going to be in those final two seats and you're not. I know it. So you two cannot be in the jury house.
Gag. Wait. After all this talk of we can't pick another woman out the house, we picked 2 of them out the house. Then they be like, nah, Blue can go.
Just blue.
Way too far because of a certain someone getting expelled. We do still have an even gender balance in the house, which is nice to see.
Yeah, it is actually.
Is it even? I thought they were one
'cause
behind.
No, because Tariq was the 17th house guest.
Oh, yep, that's right.
Yes,
That's right.
It's 7-7.
Which is this like the first time there's been more women than men?
No, Big Brother 17 had the twins, and it made it one
Yeah.
extra.
That's true.
For
Yeah.
gore.
Big Brother 5 also had twins, but I don't know if that.
I don't remember.
Not them
They
two.
both played separately at one point. So, but I
Yeah,
don't
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a gaggy moment. All right.
That's bad.
Whatever reason, my brain is thinking that Big Brother 5 had an uneven number of house guests to begin with.
I can't. I must say I can't go. My brain won't let me go all the way back that far to think about it. So, but
On
yeah,
that note,
yes.
yes. Thank you so much for joining us for this lovely end of week 2 in the Big Brother 25 house. We will be back on Monday to dive into all of the weekend's shenanigans. We will be talking about the Sunday episode. We will be talking about the veto comp, the veto meeting. We will probably know who's going home, but honestly, in this house, who knows?
Who knows?
So, we are truly expecting the unexpected on this season. But yes, we will be back Monday at 6 Eastern to talk about all of the weekend shenanigans. Then we'll be back Wednesday at 3 Eastern to talk about our pre-eviction shenanigans. And we'll be back next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern talking about the 3rd live eviction of BB25 into pressure cooker. So excited. Oh my god.
I will probably be so sleepy because
Oh
I
my
will
God.
not be turning off those feeds until
Hopefully the feeds are like still going. Like it's
They
still
will-
going.
Right.
yeah, it's still happening.
Still going at the time. Like if we go live at noon Big Brother time on Friday and pressure cooker's still happening.
That'd be iconic.
If that's
That's fine.
happening, we will be a live pressure cooker. We might go
I'll
live
be-
early that day. Who knows?
I'll be holding my phone up the entire time. I'm sorry because I
We'll
will be
all
watching.
be like,
And just
I mean,
be like, oh my god,
The BB6 pressure cooker is still the longest comp in the history of the show.
14 hours.
I want to see. I want to see if they can beat the record. Wait, my likelihood
think
I
no.
don't think they will.
Likelihood
I don't think they
no.
will.
That was 90.
Production
Which-
is so about being
I'm-
on a schedule. I'm scared they're going to be like, we have to get them going. We can't have them here. So we got to do nominations tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wish this competition was slightly later, where the stakes are higher.
I think the stakes are
Um,
high enough now.
I know, but like when it's like hitting
I
jury
know
and
what you
shit,
mean.
you're about to hit
yeah.
jury and shit.
Maybe like
you want-
beginning
Yeah.
of jury or
The
something.
beginning of jury, instead of being the wall comp, it could be this.
For all we know, it could be.
Who knows?
With four people gone at the end of next week, they could just say, "Hey, we're doing an 11-person jury."
That would gag me.
Or a
Okay.
13 that would be a 13-person jury. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's will happen.
Yeah,
Or no,
that's
11.
what I
It would be
wanted.
11-person jury. No, sorry. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Make sure to hit all of the applicable buttons on your video or audio platform of choice, saying that you support us because we love your support and we love you. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at the Cup Pod for all of the most up-to-date Cup news and our funny moments because we are some funny bitches. Yes, I'm getting to merch. Okay.
I was just doing it I was doing it with Lewis because Lewis was.
I was
Marlon.
Cup mug. Cup mug. Get all your stuff. Link in the description below. And while you're in the description below, go ahead and follow the 5 of us because we're cool. We're lovely. We're wonderful. And
most of us. I'm a bitch.
that's a fact.
Those are facts. We can't. Lewis, yeah, cheers, y'all. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers,
But
cheers.
always make sure to expect the unexpected.
The unexpected.
Good night,
Bye.